Hey guys, West Coast Taco here, and welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Well, guys, finally doing it, the 529 ReGear. A lot of you probably scratching your heads and wondering, why won't the 529s versus the 488s for almost a completely stock Tacoma? I'll get into that in a second, but long story short, guys, we're here in North County, San Diego with Jason. Jason is a prior Toyota Master Tech. He worked heavily on the Tacomas and just their V6 line, back at, probably 15, 16 years ago at this point. He's not fully retired. He works out of his home garage. I love the experience, his attention to detail, his honesty, his ability to just articulate things, and overall just the patience he gives you to actually watch some of the work get done and just answer any questions you may have. I give him props because not many people have the patience level to be able or be willing to do what he does. And he has clients that come from all over the country. I think the furthest at this point is now like Arizona, but people will drive in and have him service their Tacomas or their 4Runners or their Tundras. So really good dude. I have his number in the description, so go down there if you are somewhat local or be willing to make a drive out here to have him do work on your truck or your SUV. But for those of you who are wondering, why did you go with the 529s over the 488s? Well, there's two reasons. The first reason is, as I was reading through the forums and trying to do as much research as I possibly could, I noticed quickly everybody that went with 488s was really happy for the most part. Everybody that went with the 529s was also really happy, but that caused the guys with the 488s to wonder if they should have gone with the 529s. And for me, as of right now, outside of having the E-rated tires, and this TRD lift kit, my truck is pretty much stock. I don't have a bunch of extra weight. I don't have a bunch of armor. The only thing that I have in my truck that's considered armor is the TRD skid plate, and that's it. So a lot of people think that, unless you're running 35 or 33-inch tires or larger, there's no reason for 529s. But today I figured I would find out for myself and see how it goes and how it drives, and if I think it's actually a pretty good fit. Because basically a lot of people that originally got the 488s got them before 529s was available. So let me know if you have re-geared your Tacoma. Let me know how you're liking the gears you went with, whether the 48s, 529s, so forth. And through this video, guys, this is about a 9-hour process in regards to, disassembling, reassembling. But I went with East Coast Gear Supply because of their third member program they essentially have, where you mail back in your gears and your core, and they refund you their core charge, and then you have essentially like a refurbished core with, all the 529 gears in it. I was a little nervous, not gonna lie. I was a little nervous because I thought maybe I would get like a core that was beat up and, was used from someone who didn't take as well of care of their Tacoma as I've tried to take care of mine. And look at these things. They look like they just came out of the factory brand new. They refurbish them, they clean them, they paint them. I mean, it looks flawless. And so with that being said, I can't speak highly enough of East Coast Gear Supply, their customer service, their quality control. The reason we went with the pre-assembled is because Jason said that he's never had one customer complain about gear whining or anything like that. No issues at all. And these are, completely, fabricated, installed, and assembled, and then sent out from the North Carolina shop where East Coast Gear Supply is located. And so you're just getting a very, very nice product. You're going to pay for, you're going to pay a little bit more than what you might for a setup where you have to install the gears yourself. But I think for the little bit of extra money, it is well worth it. Less of a life expectancy than a 3.9 or a stock gear from a Tacoma? Like, was this going to break in 5 years versus one that would maybe last?
No, a numerically higher number of gears get weaker because of how the pinion gear gets smaller.
Got it. Okay.
So it just becomes like a leverage ratio. So like if you look at, probably see the difference. See how big that pinion gear is?
Yeah.
This one, well, you probably can't really tell. But if this one's smaller, oh, you can tell.
Yeah, yes, you can.
See how much smaller that gear is?
Yeah, it's much larger there.
That's where the weak part is. It's just the pinion gear.
Okay.
So that's the weak point. And when you go to high numerical, when you get into like 6 somethings on those crazy trucks, then that gear gets so small, and that's what usually breaks.
Got it. For all the people that you've done this for, though, have you had anyone come back to you with broken gears yet?
Not
I mean,
yet.
I understand if you're abusing the truck hard and like running.
They don't make
hard.
enough power.
Okay, so you shouldn't have any issues.
Unless you're in 4 low, because that's a gear multiplier, so you're technically making like 500 horsepower or something when you do that.
Okay.
So that could break it, but I haven't seen anybody do it yet.
Okay.
Luckily enough, because these gears are pretty robust. They're pretty strong.
People go from their stock gears to the 529s. What's actually happening inside that's causing the vehicle to get more torque? Is it
the ratio between the two gears, more or less? Because one turns this one less than it does that one.
Got it.
It's the amount of teeth kind of thing. So, or more, I should say. Sorry, not less. The opposite way. So, yeah, it just changes because one rotation of the pinion gear goes, or it takes 3 or whatever the gear ratio is. If it's a 530 or something, it takes 5.3 rotations of that to do 1 rotation of this.
Got it.
And that's the opposite. If it's 390, it's 3.9.
So it's moving. It's moving quicker.
Yes.
It's moving faster. The wheels can spin quicker, essentially.
Right, because there's less teeth, so it's doing a lot more, a lot quicker.
Got it. So I brought an OEM rear diff gasket to install on my truck. However, Jason recommended not using it because the OEM gaskets have been notoriously known for leaking and weeping gear oil all over the diffs. And he recommended just using some of his gasket maker that he keeps on hand to seal up the rear diff. Decided to go with his judgment and his experience, as he's done hundreds of these third members, and said he's had 0 issues with any of them leaking or weeping oil after using the gasket maker. So I'll put a link in the description to the stuff he was using, and I can leave that up to you guys on how you want to go about resealing up your rear diff. And then after this, he's going to reinstall the drive shaft, and he's going to move on forward to the front diff. So enjoy, and any questions, guys, throw them in the comment section. All right, guys, so I'm leaving Jason's house. 529s are on. Really excited to see how she handles. I might have to get the tune adjusted. We're gonna see. Right now we're on the medium spicy Overland Torque Tune. 529s on a pretty much stock truck. Let's see how she goes. Gonna try and take it easy on her on this braking period. Oh, wow. The truck feels so light. A lot of low end torque. A lot of low end torque. I mean, the truck just wants to move. So there's been a huge myth, a huge debate about 529s on a pretty much stock truck being overly aggressive. Nice. Truck is just shifting phenomenally. That was fourth. I don't know, I might not even mess with the whole medium spicy. I'm actually really liking this. At first I thought it might be too much, but then again, is there ever such thing as too much, right? I mean, but I heard so many people say, oh, it's gonna be too much, you're gonna not like it, the RPM. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen on the freeway. I'm gonna meet up with Q from TK421 Tuning. He's an Overland Torque Tune tuner here in Southern California. He's like the go-to guy, because we do have to make a little bit of an adjustment in regards to the, but yeah, this feels really, really good with the new gears. It's gonna take a little bit of adjusting, obviously, but the truck feels like it just lost like 1,000 pounds. I've talked about it before, when you get the Overland Torque Tune, it literally feels like you gain a significant amount of horsepower. Like, it feels like you're getting a ton more out of your powertrain. But now with these gears, the truck just wants to go. And it's driving really well. I mean, it's driving really nice. Like, it's not really taking a whole lot of adjusting. Like, it's not like I'm over here having to get used to this. I'm trying to baby it, because the gears, we're breaking those in right now. So it does, obviously you don't want to be pulling with a trailer. You don't want to be, you don't want to put gears on and then take it right out to the trail and beat on it. You want to give it that, 500-mile break-in period roughly. Some people say closer to 1,000. East Coast Gear Supply is where I got my gears from. And a lot of people talk about a whine, and to be quite honest, that just came to me because I thought about it, but there is no whining. My gears are just as quiet, if maybe not more quieter than they are stock. And when I got the gears ordered, I'll show you guys my actual invoice so you know how much I paid and the setup I got. But I went all out. Every option they had. When it comes to making their setup just more dialed in, I went for it. It's like, if you're gonna do something to your truck, do it right. At least do the best you can to do it right. I understand that sometimes we try and fail and things don't work out, or we get a faulty part and we can't control that. But I always try to put my best foot forward by getting the best parts from the best company, and then using, in my opinion, the best mechanic to set it up. Don't take shortcuts, guys, when doing this type of stuff. There's a link for Jason if you guys live in Southern California, and he has people that come all the way from Arizona to service their Toyota vehicles. So if you are somewhat within, a few hour drive of this area, highly recommend it. How long did it take? Well, you can see my video is kind of spotty. I dropped off my truck yesterday at 10 a.m. and he got done with it at 9 p.m. Everybody's going to find flaws and want to do things a certain way and say, oh, he did this wrong or did that wrong. He's done all of the work to my Toyota Tacoma, and he's the only guy I'll let touch my truck. And he's not let me down once. My stuff's been working flawlessly. Every time he's recommended something, it's worked. Nice, okay. Yeah, no whining, nothing. Great. Guys, the truck feels so light. I'm really glad I went with the 529s. Not to say if you go 488s, you're going to be disappointed. 529s feel really nice. So my recommendation, guys, based off this video, I think I did it right. I think, if I had to do this all over again, I would do the same exact thing. Gonna go through this break-in period. You guys have any questions, of course, throw them in the comment section. I can't even imagine what this truck would feel like with a supercharger. I can't even imagine. Let's go on the freeway here. Taking it easy easy on the gas pedal, going really easy on the truck, and it's just scooting along so nicely. Wow. Definitely not noticing any drone or whine. Truck sounds like it did stock. Once again, I think it really comes down to the quality of the gears, the quality of the person building the gears in regards to their ability and their overall knowledge. Of course, installation is important as well. I'll be doing a couple follow-up videos, guys. Obviously, I'm not pushing the truck by any means. I don't really push the truck much when I drive regular anyways, but I will do some more updates, and we'll test it better on the freeway and kind of see where the RPM lands. You know, going like a true 75. But so far, it does not feel overgeared at all. Feels really good. Really, really good.